What's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today, I want to try to help you not waste a bunch of money like what I have obviously done, because you see all this different stuff that I've got here. I wish that I would have only had to buy one set of quick connects before I finally got to the one that I really love. So we'll just get straight into it. To tell you, I guess, my experience with quick connects, I'll go through the story. How it all sort of started was me graduating from school, having no money, and just buying the cheapest thing that was available. And that was this. So these are plastic ones available from the big box store. They're cheap, they worked. I basically just had a couple of them crack. So I had a couple crack right along this, I guess. Like as I was screwing them in, they would start to leak a little bit. There's no O-ring, and maybe that's my fault. No, well, there is a little gasket. There's a rubber gasket that goes in there. But my experience was they started to leak, and so I tried to screw it on tighter and tighter. When I did that, the plastic cracked on a couple of these right there. But basically, I'm gonna show you these because another, I guess, reason that I made this video was because I did a video about my hose reel and my hose setup all around my house. And people pointed out that I have way too many hoses, and I probably do. But as somebody who has way too many hoses, you can imagine that quick connects are more important to me because of that. I have so many different handheld hose end nozzles, sprinklers, all kinds of stuff, because I don't have a sprinkler system, so I move a sprinkler around a lot, hand watering flowers and plants and things. So quick connects were a big deal to me because I got really annoyed at having to screw stuff on and take it off of a hose and move it and blah, blah, blah. You get it, right? So quick connects are obviously easier. So as part of that video, I said something about wanting to find one brand or one type of hose end quick connect that I could use all over my house, because obviously if you have this on one hose and this on another, that doesn't work. And I wanted to have one system. I think you get that. That makes perfect sense, right? So people commented and said, this is the type of quick connect you should get. There were so many different people, so many different comments, and they were telling me all different brands. Everyone had a different experience. I did have someone that commented and said that they liked this one. This one happens to be Melnor, and that's the brand that they said, I've had that one for 10 years and it's worked amazing. I love it so much. And I was like, great. If you're that good at keeping up with stuff and keeping stuff in good condition somehow and making these last 10 years, this is the cheapest option for sure. Go for it. Like, that's obviously the right choice if you can make this last. But my experience was that they leaked a little bit and they cracked. Now, you could also argue that if this one breaks, it's the cheapest to replace. You can just keep replacing them as they break a little bit over time, and it's not that big of a deal because it's, you know, a couple bucks or whatever to replace whichever side happens to break, if it does. So there's that. That's where I was going through all of these because I got so many different comments, and I was like, man, everyone has a different brand or different type of quick connect that they're passionate about, and all these different comments. And so I wanted to compare all the ones that people told me about. We'll get to this one. This one specifically is one that people commented about a lot. We'll get there. We're gonna go through this direction. This is cheapest to most expensive, also the earliest one that I had, and now the most recent one. So spoiler alert, this one's my favorite. We'll get there. Plastic one. So one of my tests for quick connects was always, can I get it in and out with one hand? So let's say it's on the end of your spigot here, and you want to take the hose that's connected to this, or your nozzle, your, like, you know, sprayer wand or whatever, and you want to plug it in to the hose with one hand and not have to, like, I don't know, use both hands. Maybe I have something in one hand way too often, but let's just picture the situation where if it's on the spigot on the side of my house and I want to plug a hose into that spigot, can you do it with one hand? So here's the test with the Melnor, the plastic one. So we're going to push in the hose, and it went in there. That was pretty tough. That was kind of tough to get in there. Now getting it off with one hand, you push up on the collar and pull down on the hose, or yeah, good grief. Okay, wow, okay, I got it. That was not easy. So one hand test, yeah, not the easiest. So, good grief. If you're using both hands, maybe not that big of a deal. So I've got then a hose and like hose in nozzle, right? So let's picture that situation. Both hands going on something you can push from both sides, and you push it in. It's kind of difficult to get in there. Not terrible, but then obviously, like, you pull the collar back to get it out with both hands. Yikes, and still a little bit difficult. Not terrible, still better than having to screw and unscrew a hose, obviously. But there is the plastic one, the cheapest option. Next, after those broke, I was like, okay, I guess I need to go metal, right? So went up to the metal option. This is brass, and there's some rubber on here too. But basically these brass ones were also from the big box store. Not all that much more expensive, but a step up. I was thinking like, surely the metal's not gonna break. And I have not had a metal, I haven't had it break. So then these are brass. Obviously haven't had anything break on the brass ones, but they have gotten stuck. So let me show you this. Can you see that collar is not even around the edge, like at the top of that? And I cannot get it to come up to lock in completely. That's why I moved on from this one, because they worked, and they worked great when they worked, but then over the course of, I think it was about a year that I had these, this one got stuck. Well, there it goes, so it locked in now. And then when you pull back, I can get it off, but it got stuck again. Like when I pulled it off, that one got stuck. So this is the one I had. This is one that's fresh, and this one I have not used. So it's super smooth. Now you can't push that in. The one hand on the spigot test, if I've got a hose and on the spigot, you cannot push that in there. You have to pull back on the collar to insert it. So it fails the one hand test. Again, that may not matter to anybody else out there, but that's been something for me that I've looked for in quick connects. You can disconnect it with one hand if you push up on the collar and then pull down on your hose or whatever it is. That's what it's supposed to function like when it's new, and it's pretty smooth. It felt great, and I loved them when I first got them, but I've got a couple actually, I think. Oh, that one's just, yeah, well, there you go. Stuck and stuck. These are the ones that I actually used that were outside, and they get a little bit of dirt in them. It's because of these ball bearings. I don't know if you can see the little like ball, I don't know if it's right to say it's a bearing, but anyway, the little ball in there that locks into place is getting stuck. It's gummed up, it's got dirt in there, and maybe that's my fault. Maybe I'm the only person who gets dirt in their quick connects, but I doubt it. So that's why I moved on from these, because they kept getting stuck and then they wouldn't work when I wanted them to work. So I had to unscrew them and screw on the hose anyway. Next up, so this one I did not buy. I did not move on to this one. Someone sent me these. So I got they sent me a hose for a video or something like that, or a few hoses, and they sent these quick connects. They just happened to come. This was like some company based in China, and I assumed that these quick connects were not all that expensive. I cannot tell you where to find these online, but I think this is a pretty basic one that I've seen lots of places before. This is brass. There are 4, I'm gonna call them ball bearings. I don't know if that's technically the right term, but ball bearings in there. Same as on this one. Actually, this one had 3, so then we're stepping it up. We've got 4 ball bearings now. Maybe that's better, maybe that's an upgrade. But anyway, not bad. So you're plugging it in. Again, same thing, one hand test, let's do that. You cannot push this type in. Let's say you've got a hose on the spigot. You cannot push it in and it won't just go. You have to pull up on the collar, insert, and then it'll lock in. One hand removal. You can push up on the collar and kind of get it out. I got it. Obviously with more practice, you probably get better at that, but one hand insertion, maybe you could get there with enough practice, but one hand insertion, that's not what these are made for. If you have your hose, you're grabbing on this side and you've got your hand, your whatever, watering spigot, then you're plugging into the hose. Like that's what it's made for. Well, I say that. And then it goes in, you can lock it. So no big deal, but still not my favorite. You saw that wasn't like the smoothest, most easiest thing ever. Most easiest thing ever? Is that how I'm supposed to say that? Yeah, perfect. So then we're moving along. This one, this was the most popularly commented hose-in quick connect in that video. In the comment section, people talked about the Obsessed Garage, specifically the stainless steel quick connects, the most out of any other quick connects. I had never heard of Obsessed Garage. This guy's got a big e-commerce business and I think a big following on social media. So he's got lots of different equipment and things in there for auto detailing and garage work and maybe lawn care stuff too. Obviously, got garden hose quick connects. But when I read that comment, I was like, why is everybody talking about this Obsessed Garage thing? I went and looked it up. I was gonna buy, I was gonna go like, oh, I should buy all these things to make a video. Like I should buy all the ones that are commented. I already had that one that was a comment and I had some other ones that I could compare. I did not have this one and I didn't want to buy it because they're kind of expensive. So anyway, if you're comparing apples to apples, a set of 2 of these, like 2 plugs and 2 insert ends, $33. And that's at the time of this filming, so we're in the middle of the summer 2022. So anyway, stainless steel. The reason I did not want to buy it, the reason I didn't want to buy this one is because it looked almost exactly like this one. You can see the similarity there, and I was like, I knew I didn't love this one, so why would I want to buy that one? Obsessed Garage also has brass, so if you look at the brass ones, I have to imagine that they're identical to these. Now, I don't know if the brass ones have 4 ball bearings, because if you can see the difference here, Obsessed Garage has 6 on the inside. Again, I don't even know if that's better. I don't know if 6 is an improvement or if that's just different. I have to assume, based on how expensive these things are as you go this direction, I have to assume that 6 is better, but I cannot tell you that for sure. But anyway, that one has 6 ball bearings. The one that I got for free, sent from some Chinese company, has 4. But they look identical. And the fact that I could not tell them apart online made me say, I do not want to spend that much money buying one of these just to make a video when I already knew it wasn't the one I was gonna go with. I had already gone with, actually I guess I hadn't, at that point I knew I was going to go with this when all those comments started pouring in. So let's move on to that one. So that's the Obsessed Garage, that's the stainless steel, so that's gonna last for a really, really, really long time. This one is also brass. It is very heavy duty. So this is from Ely. Ely has been great as far as like the products that I've had from them. Obviously, this is the one I went with. I have these all over my house on everything. Sprinklers, every hose has one. Everything has a quick connect here. I told my wife, if you find something that does not have a quick connect, you tell me. Don't unscrew anything. Tell me, and I will put a quick connect on it, because I want everything to have a quick connect, because I hate screwing and unscrewing stuff off of hoses. But anyway, this is the Ely. So let's do the same stuff. The testing, watch this. The one hand test, you've got your hose, you got the spigot on the wall of your house, and how easy this goes in. Like, so buttery smooth, so easy. The one hand removal, so if I can not put, like if I can keep my hand out of the way, but yeah, one hand removal. Up on the collar, down with the hose or whatever you're connecting. Super simple. Like the easiest thing ever. Insert, you can just push it straight in there, it locks, and you can remove it so easy. I just want to let you hear this. Seriously, let's do some ASMR. You can just hear this thing connecting and disconnecting a few times. Isn't that like so buttery smooth? So something that comes along with that, because you see that O-ring on there, is that it's a different system. If you can see that, there's 2 little bars on the inside, and those 2 little bars are what that O-ring or what this like edge locks into. Instead of having the ball bearings, those bars spin in there. Again, can't tell you if that's better, other than the way that it feels is amazing. So that's awesome. But what comes along with that is a piece of equipment that's more high maintenance. This is a repair kit. So the repair kit comes with a bunch of O-rings and some silicone grease. So the fact that it has an O-ring on there means that every once in a while, if it starts to get kind of sticky, you can silicone grease it. So is that a pro or is that a con? Because that means it's going to last longer, long enough that they think you need to grease these things. Like any piece of equipment that I have that's supposed to last a long time takes some maintenance, right? So this isn't just a simple like buy and use forever and never break or whatever. Like there's possibly some maintenance that goes along with it. So keep that in mind. That's something different. But the biggest difference, and this is something that was pointed out on thelawnforum.com. If you know anything about thelawnforum.com, it's a bunch of people who obsess, and I mean obsess, about their lawns and have some amazingly nice lawns. But on thelawnforum.com, someone pointed out that the Ely Quick Connects, the internal diameter is 3/4 of an inch. So that is bigger than the, I think it's 1/2 inch. I'm pretty sure all of the rest of these are 1/2 inch. The diameter on the Ely is 3/4 of an inch. So if you have a high volume spigot, I have a high volume spigot that's connected to a different water meter than my house. And I get better volume, I get a lot more volume and a lot better water pressure out of that one because it's not going through the pressure regulators that in my house. Like it's not going through my house to come out of the spigot. It's going straight into the irrigation. Now, I will tell you, I do not know at what point, at what water volume will 1/2 inch diameter quick connects start to limit your flow and or pressure. I don't know. And that's what, maybe somebody in the comments, you people who are like physicists of water or plumbers, you know, firefighters, people who have studied this sort of stuff before, can you tell us at what point, at what water volume will the diameter of a hose-in quick connect start to limit your flow? I don't know, but I do know that my hope is to go up in volume over time. So I think I'm gonna get a 3/4 inch diameter hose. I wanna get one hose to hook up to my thing, like a 100-foot or 125-foot hose that'll reach to my greens and reach, you know, my front yard at least, and a good part of my backyard. Because I have the bigsprinklers.com sprinkler that will let more water volume out of it than a normal like impact sprinkler. I got a couple of those from the bigsprinkler.com people, and it can handle it. It can handle more water volume. So I'm curious, if I get more water volume coming out of my spigot there, will a 1/2 inch diameter quick connect limit the amount of volume and or pressure and or flow, whatever, from a 3/4 inch? So that's another huge reason why I went with the Ely, because over time, I wanna get more water volume. I've got plans, aspirations to move to a place and have a huge green right on a pond, and possibly have something like a well that pumps into the pond and then pump out of the pond. I went over to the First Tee in Lowell, and they have a pond where their well fills up the pond, they pump out of the pond, and they can pump a ton of water out. So anyway, I want very high volume, so I wanted to try to limit the amount of flow restriction with my quick connects as much as possible. At one point, you start getting into those big cam lock things, I think, and so you can get like larger diameter cam lock, you know, things they're gonna use on golf courses, and so that's a possibility. But if I was gonna use some really nice quick connects now that I could use forever, why not go with the Ely? That was sort of my logic. Now, you can get, I think, 2 plugs and 2 inserts of the Ely. It's like $52. So this is more expensive than this one. And then, like I said, they get more expensive as you go this way. So I understand that that's not doable for everyone, but my thinking was if I have one set of quick connects forever, then you'd spend the money up front so that you don't have to keep replacing parts, because you have to keep replacing these because they keep getting stuck. Obviously, you're gonna spend more over the long term than if you just have to buy once and use them forever. So that's what I was thinking. I went with Ely. Now, I'll tell you, I hate affiliate links. I hate them. I don't know that most people use them anyway. I do have an affiliate link for the Ely stuff. My Ely hose reel, which I love, my Ely quick connects here. I'll put my Ely affiliate link down there. If you don't like my channel, if you think that the Lawn Tools is stupid, move on. Or if you wanna buy those, just don't use it. You can go buy your own Ely stuff and you don't have to use my affiliate code. But if you are someone who happens to like the Lawn Tools, if you're one of our followers that's been following for a long time and you want to support our channel, you can use that. Obsessed Garage has an affiliate program. I just didn't sign up. I don't know. I just don't think that's what I would probably go with. It is cheaper than the Ely, but this one's just my favorite. I don't know how else to say that. So there you go. There's kind of my journey through hosing, garden hose anyway, garden hosing, quick connects. Hopefully it was valuable to you. Hopefully it's helpful and helps you not waste money like I did. Anyway, that does it. And I guess we will see you later.